Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric McKinley, and I am the Director of Program Development of National Business Builders. And as we all know, April is or has been designated as Financial Literacy Month. But around here, around these parts, we talk about financial education, and we become financially literate every day of the year. So I have a brief training that I want to share with you. So as you jump on, do me a favor, drop your city and your state, like it, share it, and tag somebody. And I am going to do the same. Give people a couple of seconds to jump on as I share this. Hope you're having a productive day. Also, this is Thought Provoking Thursday. Hopefully the information that I share with you is going to provoke some thought in your life. See if I can share this to a couple of groups. And let's see. 1 second. I was trying to get my lighting together. I'm back here on my deck, and the way I'm positioned right now is not really key for me to do a live. I guess to see me, but the information that I'm sharing on my screen is going to come out clear, so no need to worry about that. Okay, I got one more place to share. 1 second, and I'll be getting started here in a minute. Okay, so like I said, got my business mentor on, Mr. June Carter. Thanks for jumping on. So we are live and direct at the McKinley Manor. I like the way that sounds, man. Yeah, I've been doing some work back here, still doing some work, but I wanted to take a break, a brief moment to share a short training with you. And it's about a thought-provoking question as to why is it that people feel so comfortable about putting their savings in a bank account, whether it's a savings account, whether it's a checking account, whatever it is. Okay. So I was thinking about this, and like I said, April being focusing on financial literacy month. I just want you to be aware of some things about building wealth, growing your money, and how to protect your money. We got Miss Handley out of, she says, Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. Okay, never heard of that. Thanks for jumping on. Like it and share it and tag somebody, because this is going to be interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me share my screen. I was messing around and I was creating this slide. I said, I had a thought. I said, let me go ahead and create something that I could share with somebody. So here you go. Like I said, it is the topic for the month, financial literacy. I truly believe that we should all become literate, but before we can become literate, we have to become educated. And it's kind of like a crawl, walk, run phase. I was in the military for a good little while, and they used that scenario a lot. You crawl, you walk, you run. Well, oftentimes people want to just pick up and start running, and we can't do that. We gotta take those steps to make sure that we are doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share with you some content that I created, and hopefully it makes sense to you. So we're talking about, why is it that people feel so comfortable? Why is it that people feel so comfortable putting their money, putting their savings? People talk about saving money for retirement. I'm sure they have other vehicles as well, but a lot of people put a large chunk of their money into a bank to save it. And I want to show you why that may not be a good idea, but I'm still trying to figure out why it is that people decide to do that. Okay, why people decide to do that? Well, some of the answers that I've gotten, that people do that because that's what we've been taught to do. It's the grooming. People think that banks are safe, but I came up with a couple of solutions myself. I believe that people put their money in a savings account or a checking account, or a large chunk of their money, because they want to have access to it. Now, I'm not talking about our operating capital. My wife and I, we put our operating capital in a bank account, in a savings, in a checking account. We have it in our checking account. We have a very minimum amount in our savings. But just our operating capital. And when I say operating, what it takes for us to operate our house, and also we have business accounts to operate our business. So we got to have our money in our business accounts. But as far as our savings for investing, for retirement, it's not there. So I want to share this with y'all. So let me see if this makes sense. Help me out. What is a bank? What is a financial institution? Basically, a financial institution is responsible for the supply of money to the market through the transfer of funds from investors to companies in the form of loans, deposits, and investments. That's a textbook answer. Basically, a financial institution transfers money, okay, from people who are investing. Maybe they're in the stock market, okay? Maybe they're in the stock market. Maybe they're huge conglomerates. Maybe they're huge companies. But they transfer that money. That money's transferred in the form of loans, deposits. People deposit money into banks, and also different investments. Now, a bank is designated as a financial institution that's licensed to receive those deposits and make those loans. There's different types of banks out there, but the bottom line is I want everyone to understand that the banks are not here to help you as much as you may think they are. Check this out. Banks and other financial institutions have convinced us that if we cannot afford to pay for something, then we should just finance it. How many of y'all have ever felt like that? I can't afford to pay for it, so I got to make sure my credit is good enough so I can finance it. But when you finance something, you're taking resources from yourself. The bank is gladly taking your resources, your money, and they're taking it and they're giving you back debt. And they're giving you back debt and they're charging you interest. See, banks don't own any money. Banks do not own any money. They may start off with a with investors that will back the monies if that's a private bank, or if they're approved by the FDIC, they will have that support from the feds. But banks don't own any money. And I did a research and I researched and used Proverbs 22:7 and Romans 13:8. And it says the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is slave to the lender. That's Proverbs 22:7. And then Romans 13:8 says, let no debt remain outstanding except the continuing debt to love one another. For whoever loves others has fulfilled the law. So now, when you start talking about, I'm going to put my savings in a bank, you want to understand something. A bank is nothing more than a store that offers products and services, okay? They offer products like checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts, certificates of deposits known as CDs, credit cards and debit cards. And then they charge you fees on ATM withdrawals. They charge you fees sometimes on the amount of deposits you make or the amount of withdrawals that you may make in a month. So that's how the bank makes money, okay? They make money off of your money. All right. Now, in the past, I know a long time ago, when you open up a checking account or a savings account, a bank would probably give you something like a toaster or a calendar. And I think they still do that. But mainly what happens is when you go to a bank, you'll see a bowl of candy, on the counter. And that candy bowl usually has lollipops in that bowl. Those lollipops represent suckers. And many of us don't know that we're playing into the hands of the banks by becoming suckers. And you'll see people ask for that hard candy or get that lollipop or that sucker, and they feel, we feel sometimes real satisfied, real rewarded because we walk away with what we want. But oftentimes, y'all, we don't know what we want. We don't know what we want because oftentimes we don't know the full facts of being able to make the decision with all the information. So let me share with you the rule of 72, the banker's secret. This is something that the banks use in order to make sure they're still using your money and growing your money. Okay, so now imagine this. The banker's secret is simple. You take the number 72 and you divide it by whatever interest rate that you're going to receive. That's how long it's going to take for your money to double. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, right now, I looked online, I did some research, and the largest interest interest rate that I found on savings accounts was basically 0.50. I think the biggest one I found was 0.57, but I just left it at 0.50 for training purposes. So banks are basically giving 0.5% on savings accounts. Why? Why are they giving 0.5% on savings accounts? Well, everything is dropped due to the financial calamity. I like that word. Due to the financial calamity that's going on right now. So if the interest rates are down in the banks, that means the housing market interest rates are down. Vehicles are basically down. To purchase vehicles, all those rates are down. But what I'm sharing with you is this: people are putting their money in the bank to try to build wealth, and that's just not the best place. Because see, if you divide 72 divided by that 0.5%, that equals 144 years. That means that it's going to take your money 144 years to double in a savings account. Now, I don't know about you, but I was reading in the Bible about men and women living to, be 900 years old. That's not happening now. So the person is going to live anywhere between 65 and 80 years old. Okay, 65 and 80 years old. We're talking about 144 years. You got to ask yourself, do I have that kind of time to use the bank to build wealth and wait for my money to double? The answer is a simple question. It's a simple answer. Simple question, simple answer. The answer is no. You don't have that kind of time. As a matter of fact, if you're starting to build wealth at the time that I started in my early 40s, then you're already behind the power curve. But I hope you're getting some value out of this, right? If you're getting some value out of this, drop me something in the comments, because I want to make sure that I'm getting this information out. So, like I said, 72 divided by the interest rate equals the amount of time it's going to take for your money to double. So at an interest rate of 4%, your money's going to double every 18 years. Of course, 72 divided by 4 is 18%. Now, if you invested $10,000 at age 29, just an example, this is how much money that you're going to have at age 65. And the reason why I use age 65 is that's generally the time that people start looking at retirement. Okay, so age 29, you're starting off with $10,000. Well, in 18 years, that money's going to double to $20,000. And then in another 18 years at age 65, that money doubles at $40,000. Now, you got to ask yourself, is that enough money to retire comfortably? That's not enough money to retire minimally, So, but this is what's happening, okay? And this is at 4%. So before the rates dropped so low, I think at 4%, in a bank, you probably could have got a certificate of deposit, but you would have had to drop your money and park it there for a large amount of years to get that type of 4%. But people do that because it's safe, okay? It's safe, but you're losing money, okay? You're losing money. So let's look at another example. At an interest rate of 6%, your money's going to double every 12 years, of course. 72 divided by 6 equals 12 years. If you invested the same $10,000 at age 29, this is how much money you're going to have at age 65. So at 29, $10,000. Then 12 years later, it's $20,000. 12 years later, it doubles to $40,000. You're age 53. And then at age 65, you got $80,000. Now you tell me, if you had $80,000 in a vehicle that was drawing 6% return on your money every year, total 6%. I'm going to break this down for you. 1% of $80,000, 1% of $80,000 is $800. Okay, 1% of $80,000 is $800. So 800 times 6%, that's $4,800. That means that you would be, if you were living off the interest, you would be earning $4,800 per year in interest. Could you live off of $4,800 per year? Once again, it's a no-brainer. I don't know anybody who can live off $4,800 a year. Well, that's not a good retirement plan. Well, the next example is going to be of the bank. And see, the bank gets 12% return on their on your money. Okay, they get 12% return on your money, using your money. They use your money to get 12% by loaning your money to other people through credit card loans or credit cards, through car loans, personal loans, things like that. They use that money, and when you park your money in a savings account, they may give you that 0.5% return on your money, but they're going to take your money and they're going to invest it in something bigger than that. And they're going to get a huge return on that same money. See, your goal is to become the bank. So check this out. At age 29, that $10,000 would have doubled to $20,000 at age 35, because it's doubling every 6 years. Every 6 years, that money's going to double. Every 6 years. At age 41, it doubles to $40,000. Now, imagine if you were the bank. At age 47, you're looking at $80,000. 12%, right? That same $4,800 that you would have received every year at 6%, you double that to $9,600 a year return on your money. Okay? Now at 53, that's $160,000 that the bank is gaining. By the time you made 59, that's $320,000. $320,000. And at the age of 65, the bank has made, out of that time span, $640,000, because the money is doubling. Okay? It's doubling. That's the eighth wonder of the world. Compound interest. The goal is to become the bank. So check it out. By leaving your money in the bank to build wealth, if that's what you decide to do, you're ultimately choosing to lose $600,000, because what happens is you would have, at the first slide where I showed you $40,000, the bank gains $600,000. You give them an opportunity to loan your money out 10 times to make that same $600,000 using the rule of 72. That's the same rule that you could have used, but it's a secret, and they keep it a secret for a reason. But I'm busting this thing wide open. There's no need to keep a secret anymore. We need to be educated. See, a financially educated person can make a well-informed decision. And this is why I share this information. Oh, in conclusion, by leaving your money in the bank to build wealth, we're choosing to lose. Like I said, we're choosing to lose this money. It gives the bank the opportunity to loan our money 10 times and make that same $600,000 using the rule of 72. Now, by learning to multiply our money, we can confidently build generational wealth, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. If you're going to a job right now, or if you work in a business right now, your job is to build wealth. That's your job. That's your job. And it gets easier and easier as we educate it, okay? Think about this. Ecclesiastes 11:1-2. Ship your grain across the sea. After many days, you may receive a return. Invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Think about it, guys. We have to become financially educated so we can become financially literate and make better financial decisions. Once we learn the rules, the principles, and the strategies to building generational wealth, it gets easier, y'all. We must first have the mindset that we want to produce and not just consume. Here's some questions. Are you happy with your current financial situation? If the answer is yes, this doesn't apply to you. Click off the video. If you're not, hang on. Okay? If you're not, then are you willing to do something about it? If the answer is yes, hang in there. If not, click off of the video. Do you want to learn to build generational wealth? If the answer is yes, stay right where you are, because I got something for you. If not, this isn't for you. Okay, I'm only talking to people who are looking to make a change in their lives. And are you willing to take the necessary steps to do so? That's the questions, okay? So, like I said, Eric McKinley, Director of Program Development of National Business Builders. Our website is nationalbusinessbuilders.net. Our email address is build@national excuse me, our website is www.nationalbb.net. Excuse me, I say it so much, I sometimes forget. Our email address is build@nationalbb.net. And our business line, yes, our business line is area code 803-848-0070. I want you to make sure you go to our events page, a wealth training coming up on April the 24th that I know you're going to love. Okay. Also, don't forget, connect with us on our social media pages, guys. Connect with us on our social media pages so you can see what is going on and what's happening in the upcoming events. So here it is. I appreciate y'all for hanging in there with me. I know I may have had a little time delay because I'm outside doing the video. Hope it made some sense. I hope you got some value out of it. Like I said, do me a huge favor. Like it, share it. Listen, get with me. Get back with the person that shares this video with you. But I want you to understand this. I want you to understand this. You cannot retire on that small amount of money. We're not supposed to retire and use our principal. We're supposed to use our interest. So we should have our money in an interest bearing account that's going to allow us to a vehicle that's going to allow us to use that interest. I see Miss Loretta said that she is ready to make that change. Okay, so we'll be getting back with you. I don't know if I shared it with you or not, but I want to make sure you get everything that you need. And if I did share it with you, I'll make sure you get it. If not, I'll make sure you get back with the person that invited you. But I appreciate you guys for coming out. Hopefully I added some value to your life. Thank you, Pastor Greg, for jumping on. Thank you, Cortina, for jumping on. Thank you, Miss Loretta. Hey, once again, my name is Eric McKinley, the Director of Program Development of National Business Builders. Like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. Once again, like it, share it, and tag somebody. And I'll see y'all at the top because there is too many people struggling at the bottom. Peace.